Did you wonder who all those costume people taking the train from Union Station to Boston were during the weekend of March 31st to April 2nd? Well, you're in luck, because I have the answer for you. I'm Ashley Anthony, and welcome to The Beat, a news and informative talk program brought to you by the Center for Community Media here at Worcester State University. Those people who took the train into Boston that weekend are cosplayers. What is a cosplayer, you ask? A cosplayer is a person who dresses up as a character from a form of media, in this case, Japanese culture and Japanese media. These cosplayers put a lot of work into their cosplays. They fall within the range of the simple to the highly complex. These wonderful people are a part of the Anime Boston community. The first rule of Anime Boston is cosplay doesn't equal consent. The second rule of Anime Boston is cosplay does not equal consent. Got it? Good. Meaning you're not allowed to touch or take photographs of cosplayers without their consent. Anime Boston is a convention that primarily celebrates Japanese culture and Japanese media. But wait, it gets better. This con is also accepting of other people from other subcultures as well. Marvel, video games, Star Wars. So you won't be shamed for showing love for your favorite character regardless of their origins. So wear those Overwatch threads proudly. No judgment here. I'll take you through the journey of the average cosplayer at Anime Boston. Let's start with the basics. Many attendees of Anime Boston can easily learn the history of the convention by visiting the Anime Boston Museum area. For those of you who can't, don't worry, I can catch you up to speed. Anime Boston is one of the largest conventions in New England. The New England Anime Society brought this convention to life in 2003, and this convention has continued to grow to host a number of around 25,000 attendees. And that's not even including staff, volunteers, and special guests. Big numbers, right? Yeah. The con is so large that it had to move to a larger avenue at the Heinz Convention Center and the Sheraton Boston Hotel back in 2005. Now, that's an awful lot of people. Where do they all stay during this big event? Great question. They all stay at participating and/or nearby hotels. The Sheraton Boston Hotel and the Boston Marriott Copley Place Hotel allow for instant access to the con. That means you don't have to go outside if you don't want to. You're either one escalator away or one bridge away. I mean, I would suggest getting some fresh air at some point during the con, but it's not mandatory. Do your thing. If you can't stay at one of these hotels, there are other hotels which can provide a place to stay in the city of Boston as well. After everyone settles in their hotel rooms or comes into Boston, they can pick up their tickets in the registration area in the Sheraton Boston Hotel and proceed to enter the Heinz Convention Center for the con. That sounds like it could be stressful, but don't worry. There are staff and volunteers available to help you through it. If you're nice, they may even give you the newsletter with the schedule in it. Just keep an eye out for blue and orange shirts. They're for you and themselves. We're all here to have fun. Now let's take a look around the floor, shall we? It's kind of hard to not have fun at this con, especially given the theme of this year. The theme is retro. So you know all the anime from back in the day? We're talking 1950s and 1990s, back in the day. Well, Anime Boston is celebrating all those older titles that we loved during our childhood. As a 90s baby, I remember the days of the Power Rangers, Inuyasha, Cowboy Bebop, Yu Yu Hakusho, Dragon Ball Z, and the original Sailor Moon. That Sailor Moon speech still gets me every time. Classic. Did I mention the special guests that appear at this event? Special guests visit this event for concerts, industry panels, autographs, and official panels for their media. This year, the con was visited by the voice actress Michelle Ruff, the director, illustrator, television animation producer LaShawn Thomas of Boondocks fame, Nakatsu Tsuda, the animation director for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Sandy Fox, the voice of the iconic Betty Boop, the Black Power Ranger, Johnny Bosch, and the J-pop band Puffy Amiyumi, among others. Ever heard of that opening song to the Cartoon Network show, Teen Titans? That's them right there. Crazy, right? We actually had the opportunity to listen to Johnny Bosch speak about his presence in Japanese media, and let's face it, American culture as well. Power Rangers was and still is a big deal. The proof is in the longevity of the Power Rangers franchise and the most recent addition to it, the 2017 film Power Rangers. Johnny Bosch has added a lot of other credits to his name since his Power Rangers days, especially in the realm of voice acting. He has been in titles such as the classic Akira, Trigun, Naruto, Fullmetal Alchemist, Eureka 7, Bleach, Blue Exorcist, Pokemon, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Sailor Moon Crystal, Mobile Suit Gundam, and Digimon. Whoa, that was a mouthful. Don't get me started on his work in the video game industry. That list is pretty long too. Want to know a fun trivia fact? Did you know Johnny Bosch has a band by the name of iShine as well? They have released 14 albums as of this year, and they are currently working on their last album. You can find more information about Johnny Bosch on his Facebook page and Twitter page. You can find more information about his band iShine on iShine.net. It's worth a peek, and be sure to check him out in the second season of Blue Exorcist, The Kyoto Saga. If you couldn't make it to see the special guests during their panels, there are still other great things going on at the con. Have you heard of the rock band
OKAMOTO.
No? Well, they're a big deal in the J-pop world, and their concert proved this fact. They played a concert on the Saturday of that weekend, April 1st. They are known for their musical contributions to animes. For example, they did the ending song, Shout Out Your Desires, for the Naruto series. The concert was a high-energy event with a groovy sound to it. The band had the audience dancing, headbanging, and fist-pumping to its sound. It was a real sight to behold. The vocalist Sho took the time to say a few words about his love for rock and roll, the video game Resident Evil, Pocket Monsters, and Ghost in the Shell. The band ended its concert with performances of Dance With Me and Beautiful Days. The band did autographs for its fans the following day. I wish I got an autograph. They were so good, but at least I got this band t-shirt to keep me company. Guess that will do for now. Man, after that concert, I was starving. Luckily, Anime Boston takes care of its people. Anime Boston had food areas available on different floors of the Heinz Convention Center. So if you feel like you're fading, go get some food. I recommend the Asian chicken bowl. It was delicious. There was more fun to be had that Saturday. More fun to be had? But how? The Masquerade is how. The Masquerade took place later on in the night. For someone who hasn't been to Anime Boston before, the Masquerade is an event where the fans have the opportunity to showcase their cosplay design skills and acting abilities for other fans on stage. A panel of judges decides the winners of these contests, and more importantly, who gets bragging rights for the rest of the year. Let's take a moment to watch those cosplayers put their best foot forward and wow us all. Now that was something. It's inspiring how much work these people put into their cosplays and theatrical performances. If theatrical performances are not for you, there's other activities for you here too. There's other rooms for watching parties. That weekend, there were rooms for people to watch the premiere of Attack on Titan Junior High School Home and Anonymous Noise. Of course, there was a room to watch the first episode of the second season for Attack on Titan. They know what's up for their fans. More Titans and Annie. Is she in season 2? you could check out the video gaming room in the Heinz Convention Center. We actually spoke with a Worcester State University student and Worcester resident about his experience with the video gaming area and his overall feelings about the convention itself.
Well, why I like the video gaming area is I feel like it's one of the best places in the whole con because it combines two things that I enjoy a lot, video games and anime. Just being there, you have people who enjoy both genres, and it's just a really great place to be. My favorite part about Anime Boston is definitely having the chance to meet all sorts of different people. Some of these people may be within the state, and some may come from all the way from the West Coast just to come to this con to do a variety of different things, just explore, maybe sell things in the artist alley, or even sell things within the dealer's room. So I think it's a really good opportunity to meet some people, talk to them, just get to know a lot of them.
There's always a dealer's room and artist alley if you're not as interested in other events. But I will warn you though, once you walk into these rooms, you may never come back. People disappear. Friends get separated only to find each other hours later. So hold each other's hands so you don't get lost. You may never find them again. What are the rooms exactly? Well, they're the rooms that hold all the swag. Yes, I said swag. Not as in the way someone carries herself, but as in the promotional merchandise that you find at events. Know all those orange bags those cosplayers were walking around with at Union Station? Well, those are bags full of swag for the Crunchyroll Premium members who visited the Crunchyroll industry booth over that weekend. Crunchyroll is a major sponsor of the Anime Boston convention and a very popular topic on the floor. For those who are unaware, Crunchyroll is an online service that provides access to anime and manga. If you're not a Crunchyroll subscriber, don't worry, you can still get swag. There are booths with figures, manga, cosplay apparel, collectible card games, trading card games, anime DVD box sets, apparel, video games, plushies, messenger bags, and much more. The handmade merchandise is available in Artist Alley. That is the area where artists and other creative people go to sell their original pieces. So if you're looking for handcrafted jewelry, posters, plushies, prints, and other handcrafted creations, you'll find it in the Artist Alley along with much more. I saw quite a bit of Sailor Moon merchandise in both the dealer's room and Artist Alley. I'm not surprised because Sailor Moon is one of the most popular animes in Japanese media. So popular, they adapted the manga again into Sailor Moon Crystal. It's a little different from the 90s adaptation. I had the opportunity to talk to voice actress Michelle Ruff about it. She's the voice actress of the cat mentor, Luna, in Sailor Moon Crystal.
Well, they have been really accepting. It's interesting. We had a panel yesterday, a Sailor Moon panel with me and Jeremy and Robbie Damon, Sandy Fox, and then the original voice artist from the Sailor Moon, the Tuxedo Mask voice artist from Japan. And we were talking about how interesting it is that the fandom has been so accepting of us. Even the fact that we redubbed the original, because I was really nervous about that. Like there was that, what the moment when they said, oh yeah, we're doing this Sailor Moon Crystal and you guys are all gonna come on board. Oh, and by the way, we're starting with the original. We're doing it over again. And I was like, what? No, we can't do that. That's not right. But they said, you know, we want to give the new generation of Sailor Moon fans, we want to bring a new generation of Sailor Moon fans, still paying homage to the 90s Sailor Moon, but with a new fandom redubbing the old, will just kind of create this new, you know, new ball, this new crystal heart of love and light.
Fun fact, she also owns the Scuff Marks California lifestyle brand, which sells skateboards, BMX bikes, and apparel, among other merchandise. Michelle mentioned how she got her start in the anime industry and also took the time to give awesome advice to our listeners who may be interested in a career in the anime industry. Take a look.
Yes, I do. Let me drink some coffee.
That's step one.
That's step one, yeah. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna say about that. And I say the same thing every time. I mean, it might be a little bit different, but I believe, because I know there's a lot of people that want to do voiceover and want to do anime, especially now that it's so popular. There's a lot of new kids coming into the business, which is great. But I always say voiceover work in anime is acting. So first and foremost, you study your craft. If you want to be a voice actor, then you study acting, because it's not about here to here. It's about the whole person. It's about what you bring to the table through your experience in life or non-experience, you know? So I say study your craft, take improv classes, because I swear to you, that has saved my ass on more than one occasion. You know, it goes back to the question, how do you prepare for a character? Well, sometimes you can't prepare, and having those improv skills to be yes and to be fast on your feet and make choices very quickly can be really, really helpful when you're in the booth. You know, I say treat it as a business, you know, because as actors, we're in a very vulnerable position, because you know, it's like, oh, here's my craft, here's my talent, but then, you know, you audition and you don't get booked. I mean, there's a lot of rejection in the field. There's more rejection than there is wins. But the thing is that the audition is the work. Like the way that most people I know who are veterans in the business, when you're auditioning, that's your work. The job, the booking, is the icing on the cake. That's the fun part. So, you know, learn how to audition, learn how to create a really interesting character. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Don't be afraid to make interesting choices. And the last thing I always tell people is don't ever let anybody tell you you can't do it. Because I had people do that to me. And I was like, well, screw you. Who are you to say what I'm going to do and not do, you know? And sometimes we get stuck in that, you know, people saying, well, you're not good enough. I had one agent tell me, this is so ridiculous. When I first moved to LA, I was looking for an agent, and I sent out my demo tape, and there was this one guy from an agency, a big agency, who I called. I had been recommended to him. So he answered the phone, you know, he picked the phone up, and he said, well, you know, I think you're talented, but you have to watch your S's. You're too sibilant. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, and you're too Midwestern. He's like, you have too much of an accent. You have to, you know, be more LA. And I was like, okay. Which is so not the case. Like, now that's what people look for. Like, they want to know who you are. They want a part of your, you know, your past and where you grew up. It's just so ridiculous. So I just always, you know, stay the course. That's what I say.
If you're interested in attending Anime Boston 1 year or more, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but here's some words from Michelle Ruff on her experience at the convention.
Oh my God. I was just telling my fiance that this has been like one of the nicest conventions. Well, first of all, I have to give a shout out to Boo, who is my handler, who has been like incredible. And the guest relations gal, Rhea, who set everything up, is just, I mean, they're super organized. And then the fans, like I flew in on Friday. We got up at like 4 in the morning and flew in, and I had an autograph session that night. And I was exhausted, like so exhausted. But I told the guys, I said, you know, I don't want to, you know, they were like, well, we can limit, you know, autographs. And I said, well, let's open it up, because I know a lot of people are coming from other states to see me, so I don't want to not get to them. So by the end of the line, and I'm so glad I did this, Boo, I had like 5 people in a row bring me artwork. like this beautiful artwork. I was literally like almost in tears because people are just gifting me, you know, these beautiful pieces of some of my characters that I did. And even yesterday, same thing. Somebody drew this really sweet little picture of Luna, and I had a couple of other pictures of Yukari and Rukia and Yoko. And I'm just like, oh my God, what is in the water here? Like, everybody is so talented. I don't know, a lot of like really talented artists in Boston.
Now, you may be wondering why Worcester natives would travel to Boston during the snowfall that weekend and even show persistence coping with train issues on the commuter rail. It's just a convention, right? No, it's more than that. I spoke to a few Worcester State University students and a Worcester resident about how Anime Boston impacts their life and their reasons for persevering through the snow to get there.
Hi, I'm Anna. I am a student at Worcester State University, and this is my 9th year in a row coming to the Anime Boston convention. So I've been coming here since 8th grade. I just absolutely love it. There's so much to do. I love buying things because you can just buy everything, and there's so many really interesting panels to go to, and you get to learn a lot and, you know, meet new people. This year was like probably one of the most difficult years to come here since they were like predicting a nor'easter for the weekend. So that was pretty bad. But you know, I already spent the money to come here with the ticket and everything and costumes. And I figured, you know, as long as we didn't die, I could take the risk to come here. Because it's just been like one of the best experiences for me to have. It's like my own personal Christmas every year. I love it. I love it better than Christmas. I love it better than my birthday. It cheers me up a lot. I'm still in school, so I get stressed out easily, and this is just a place where I can come and, you know, be really fun and be myself around other nerdy people.
Anime Boston provides a safe space for its attendees, staff, volunteers, and special guests. Sometimes it can be hard for some people to find a safe space in other parts of their lives, but Anime Boston can provide them with this safe space once a year. This convention is open to people of all backgrounds, colors, shapes, sizes, families, gender identities, sexual orientations, and persons with disabilities. No one is alone there. The people there are warm and accepting of each other, and even encourage and support each other in the journey to be true to one's best self. And it is a real possibility you might meet your next best friend there. People are that friendly.
Now, anime is so much more mainstream. Like when I started dubbing, you know, 15 years ago, 17 years ago, it was, you know, it's all about Japanese culture, which it still is. But now it just seems like, I don't know if it's a wider, I think it's a wider audience now, you know, just because of the internet and that it's brought, you know, it's just so much more front and center. I think it's just kind of become a part of our culture, you know, a subculture of American pop culture, which is cool. You know, whoever thought?
Now you might be saying to yourself, wow, this is a really cool event. I really want to go, but I don't know where to start. Well, I got you covered. Keep tabs on the Anime Boston website for further updates on its con next year, Anime Boston 2018. Get those tickets early, and get that hotel reservation even earlier than that. Trust me, those late night panels are worth it. For more updates with The Beat, please check out the Center for Community Media on Facebook at facebook.com/WSU Media, and look us up on Twitter at MediaWSU. For The Beat, I'm Ashley Anthony. So long, everyone.